History, done right, builds empathy. While researching and writing a book chapter based on the life of Chief Seattle's daughter, Kikasomlo, also known by early white settlers as Princess Angeline, she appeared to me in my dreams. Her voice whispered, sometimes yelled, reminding me to be sure to include details of her life that were important to her and to her descendants. In my dreams, I was able to understand her Chinook jargon, in which she almost always spoke. The details of her daughter, Betsy's unhappy marriage to a white settler, a man who physically abused Betsy to such an extent that she hung and killed herself, leaving behind an infant son who Kikasomlo then cared for the remainder of her long life. A mere footnote, if included at all, in the myriad official histories of the city of Seattle. Kikasomlo's story is layered with the stories of so many other Native American girls and women who have lived with, and in too many cases died by, gender-based violence. Honor their stories. My own heritage is white, Northern European American, not Native American. I recognize the danger inherent in cultural appropriation and the long tradition of stealing stories, of playing Indian, of going Native. I also recognize the responsibility of using my privilege as a white academic researcher and writer to amplify stories and voices of people too often silenced. So, for months, I wrestled with how to honor Kikasomlo's story, informed by my own story, nestled between the lines of these larger stories. Kikasomlo lived and died in a one-room wooden shanty in Shacktown, in the Belltown area of Seattle, where the Pike Place Market now stands. Photographs of her home show it looking eerily like the tiny house villages that punctuate vacant city-owned lots throughout the city of today. Kikasomlo supported herself and her grandson by digging and selling clams, serving as laundress to wealthy Seattle families, and making and selling exquisite cedar bark baskets. When she became terminally ill from tuberculosis, she refused to be placed in a hospital, calling it a jail and skookum, or ghost house. Instead, she died in her home, tended to by her grandson. She was buried in a canoe-shaped coffin on a hillside overlooking the Seattle waterfront, over an area once the land of her Duwamish people, a tribe which was ceded no land and remains unrecognized by our federal government. I think of an oft-repeated anecdote about a younger Kikasomlo who ran up to one of the founders of Seattle, Arthur Denny, when she saw him on the street. In English, she exclaimed, "God damn you, Mr. Denny, God damn you," and quickly turned away from him. Denny laughed and decided she had meant to say, "God bless you." For me, now knowing more of Kikasomlo's real story, I realize it is most likely that she knew exactly what she was saying.